when we talk about process over product, that kind of takes us, at least in my mind, to metacognition and self-regulated learning and getting kids through. And that's something I worry about a lot. The concern being with AI, that it can very easily become an easy button for thinking and for short-circuiting thinking. And I can see a scenario where a kid is using AI to help them learn, and they think that it's helping them learn because it might be improving their performance on a task or improving, their confidence or whatever. Um, but um, but it's actually they're just outsourcing their thought to the AI. The AI is thinking for them, and it's sort of tricking them into an illusion of competence. Where if we took away that scaffold, maybe they would perform very differently. But our kids don't necessarily have, at a K-12 level, the metacognitive or self-regulated learning skills to recognize that. And that's always been a key part of your work, which is one of the 5 pillars of effective formative assessment, as you lay out, is getting kids to be owners of their own learning and developing that metacognition and self-regulated learning skills. So how do you think about best practice with that in general, and especially in the context of AI, where I think it's doubly important?
I think it comes back to some very basic principles, the sort of thing that Daniel Willingham has laid out, which is what feels right often isn't right in learning. So students are actually very bad judges of their own learning. There's lots of studies that show that student evaluations of teaching are negatively correlated with learning. Students like teachers who make things easy for them. So it's not surprising that students like the easy button. Henry Ford once said, we know that thinking is difficult because of the length people go to avoid doing it. So kids want to produce the best work for the least effort. But we have to explain to them why that is not a way of getting smarter. You don't get smarter by pressing the easy button. You get smarter by engaging in more challenging tasks. And there's lots of parallels you can draw, asking very young kids, if you want to increase your strength, what's going to make you stronger? Lifting easy weights or lifting heavy weights? Kids get that.
Right.
So I think the whole metacognitive process is partly about getting students to understand that your insight, your judgment of learning is actually highly likely to be wrong.
Right.
And therefore you need to think very carefully about what actually works versus what doesn't. I would actually do experiments. With high schoolers, I would get them to review one chapter by review and by highlighting, and review another chapter by practice testing and retrieval practice, and then let them see which ones they do better on in the test. So I'd want to demonstrate. So I want to surface metacognition as something that we have to teach our students because it's not intuitive.
Right. Let them experience it. Don't just tell them it's important. Right.
Yeah. And so this is, basically that Robert Bjork has said this, that students consistently blame factors that are outside their control, like work being too hard or not being smart enough, and consistently underrate the importance of study practices. Right. And so just getting that conversation going, I think, yes, the AI will help you produce a better piece of work, but it won't make you smarter.